Thanks for visiting my YouTube channel. Here are the NBA regular season standings updates, game result, and the game schedule for tomorrow. For the game result, in the first game, the Minnesota Timberwolves beat the Miami Heat, with a score of 125-115. Anthony Edwards was the top scorer for the Minnesota Timberwolves with 33 points, followed by Naz Reid scored 29 points. Julius Randle made a double-double performance of 23 points and 10 rebounds, and Rudy Gobert also made a double-double performance of 13 points and 12 rebounds. Norman Powell was the top scorer for the Miami Heat with 21 points, followed by Nikola Jovic scored 14 points. In the second game, the Philadelphia 76ers got their three-game winning streak after defeating the New York Knicks, with a score of 130-119. Tyrese Maxey was the top scorer for the Philadelphia 76ers with 36 points, followed by Joel Embiid made a double-double performance of 26 points and 10 rebounds. VJ Edgecombe also scored 26 points, and Paul George added 15 points. Jalen Brunson was the top scorer for the New York Knicks with 31 points, followed by Karl Anthony Towns made a double-double performance of 23 points and 14 rebounds. In the third game, the Toronto Raptors beat the Atlanta Hawks, with a score of 134-117. Brandon Ingram was the top scorer for the Toronto Raptors with 29 points and 9 rebounds, followed by R.J. Barrett also scored 29 points, Scotty Barnes had 20 points, and Emmanuel quickly added 15 points. Nickeil Alexander-Walker was the top scorer for the Atlanta Hawks with 31 points, followed by Jalen Johnson scored 30 points and 9 assists. The Charlotte Hornets snapped their three-game losing streak after defeating the Chicago Bulls, with a score of 112-99. Miles Bridges was the top scorer for the Charlotte Hornets with a double-double performance of 26 points and 14 rebounds, followed by Brandon Miller scored 22 points, Con Newpol had 18 points, and LaMelo Ball added 17 points. Nikola Vucevic was the top scorer for the Chicago Bulls with 28 points, followed by Matisse Buzelis scored 17 points. The Portland Trail Blazers got their second straight win after defeating the San Antonio Spurs, with a score of 115-110. Deni Avdija was the top scorer for the Portland Trail Blazers with a triple-double performance of 29 points, 11 rebounds and 10 assists, followed by Donovan Clingan made a double-double performance of 24 points and 12 rebounds. Toumani Camara scored 20 points, and Caleb Love added 16 points. Luke Kornet was the top scorer for the San Antonio Spurs with 23 points, followed by Julian Champagnie made a double-double performance of 20 points and 10 rebounds. The Dallas Mavericks snapped their four-game losing streak after defeating the Houston Rockets, with a score of 110-104. Anthony Davis was the top scorer for the Dallas Mavericks with a double-double performance of 26 points and 12 rebounds, followed by Max Christie scored 24 points, Brandon Williams had 15 points, and Cooper Flagg added 10 points. Kevin Durant was the top scorer for the Houston Rockets with 34 points, followed by Amen Thompson made a double-double performance of 20 points and 12 rebounds. The Golden State Warriors beat the Utah Jazz, with a score of 123-114. Stephen Curry was the top scorer for the Golden State Warriors with 31 points, followed by Quentin Post and Jimmy Butler scored 15 points each. DeAnthony Melton added 13 points. Lauri Markkanen was the top scorer for the Utah Jazz with 35 points, followed by Keontae George scored 22 points. In the last game, the Boston Celtics got their three-game winning streak after defeating the LA Clippers, with a score of 146-115. Jaylen Brown was the top scorer for the Boston Celtics with 50 points, followed by Derek White scored 29 points, Anthony Simons had 15 points, and Jordan Walsh made a double-double performance of 13 points and 13 rebounds. Kawhi Leonard and John Collins was the top scorer for the LA Clippers with 22 points each. And here are the NBA regular season standings updates. For the Eastern Conference standings, the number 1 in the Eastern Conference standings is Detroit Pistons, with a record of 25 wins and 9 losses. The number 2 is New York Knicks, with a record of 23 wins and 12 losses. The number 3 is Boston Celtics, with a record of 22 wins and 12 losses. The number 4 is Toronto Raptors, with a record of 21 wins and 15 losses. The number 5 is Philadelphia 76ers, with a record of 19 wins and 14 losses. The number 6 is Cleveland Cavaliers, with a record of 20 wins and 16 losses. The number 7 and number 8 is Orlando Magic and Miami Heat, with a record of 19 wins and 16 losses. The number 9 is Chicago Bulls, with a record of 17 wins and 18 losses. The number 10 is Atlanta Hawks, with a record of 17 wins and 20 losses. The number 11 is Milwaukee Bucks, with a record of 15 wins and 20 losses. The number 12 is Charlotte Hornets, with a record of 12 wins and 23 losses. The number 13 is Brooklyn Nets, with a record of 10 wins and 22 losses. The number 14 is Washington Wizards, with a record of 9 wins and 24 losses. The number 15 is Indiana Pacers, with a record of 6 wins and 29 losses. For the Western Conference standings updates, the number 1 in the Western Conference standings is Oklahoma City Thunder, with a record of 30 wins and 5 losses. The number 2 is San Antonio Spurs, with a record of 25 wins and 10 losses. The number 3 is Denver Nuggets, with a record of 23 wins and 11 losses. The number 4 and number 5 is Houston Rockets and Los Angeles Lakers, with a record of 21 wins and 11 losses. The number 6 is Minnesota Timberwolves, with a record of 22 wins and 13 losses. The number 7 is Phoenix Suns, with a record of 20 wins and 14 losses. The number 8 is Golden State Warriors, with a record of 19 wins and 17 losses. The number 9 is Portland Trail Blazers, with a record of 16 wins and 20 losses. The number 10 is Memphis Grizzlies, with a record of 15 wins and 19 losses. The number 11 is Dallas Mavericks, with a record of 13 wins and 23 losses. The number 12 and number 13 is LA Clippers and Utah Jazz, with a record of 12 wins and 22 losses. The number 14 is Sacramento Kings, with a record of 8 wins and 27 losses. The number 15 is New Orleans Pelicans, with a record of 8 wins and 28 losses. And here are the games scheduled for tomorrow, January 5, Monday morning. In the first game, at 3 a.m., Cleveland Cavaliers vs. Detroit Pistons. In the second game, at 4 a.m., Orlando Magic vs. Indiana Pacers. In the third game, at 4:30 a.m., Brooklyn Nets vs. Denver Nuggets. In the fourth game, 7 a.m., Miami Heat vs. New Orleans Pelicans, and Washington Wizards vs. Minnesota Timberwolves. At 9 a.m., Phoenix Suns vs. Oklahoma City Thunder. At 10 a.m., Sacramento Kings vs. Milwaukee Bucks. At 10:30 a.m., Los Angeles Lakers vs. Memphis Grizzlies.